Picture this. You're 26, sitting at your kitchen table on a Sunday night, scrolling through your bank account, not because you need to, but because some part of you is hoping the numbers look different than they did on Friday. They don't. You've got a decent job, you're not broke exactly, but you're also not building anything. The money comes in, the money goes out, and every month feels like you're basically running on a treadmill, moving fast, getting nowhere. And somewhere in the back of your head is this quiet, uncomfortable thought. Am I falling behind? My name is Nick, and I spend probably too much time thinking about money, financial psychology, and why some people seem to quietly build real wealth in their 20s, while others spend that same decade just trying to stay afloat and wonder what went wrong. I've talked to people in their 40s who look back at their 20s the way you look back at a missed flight, knowing exactly the moment things could have gone differently. And I've talked to people in their 30s who made a few specific moves early, and now have a kind of calm around money that most people never get. What I've found, and honestly, it surprised me too, is that your 20s aren't just a chapter in your financial story. They're basically the rough draft of the whole book. The habits, the mental patterns, the small decisions you make when nobody's watching, they compound. And not just financially. They compound psychologically. They shape how you think about money for decades. So today, I want to walk you through why that is, what it actually looks like in real life, and, more importantly, what you can still do about it, wherever you are right now. Let's start with something most people don't talk about enough, the compounding that isn't about money. Everyone's heard the compound interest lecture. Put $200 a month in your 20s, blah, 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 you'll be a millionaire. Fine, that's true. But there's a quieter kind of compounding that nobody really explains. And it's this: your financial identity compounds too. By financial identity, I mean the story you tell yourself about who you are with money. Are you someone who saves or someone who spends? Are you someone who checks their bank account or someone who avoids it? These small narratives, they feel harmless in your 20s because the stakes are low. But you carry them forward. And in your 30s and 40s, when the numbers get bigger, the mortgage, the kids, the career pivot, you'll respond to those situations using the financial personality you built a decade earlier. Here's a small example. A friend of mine, smart guy, good income, spent most of his 20s telling himself he'd deal with money seriously later. It felt reasonable. He was young, renting, no dependents. But what he was actually doing, without realizing it, was rehearsing a pattern of avoidance. By 34, he had a 6-figure salary and almost nothing saved, and the avoidance had just scaled up with the income. The habit was the same. Only the numbers changed. The actionable thing here? Start practicing the identity now, even when it feels small. Check your account. Make the transfer. You're not just managing $300. You're rehearsing who you'll be when it's $3,000. The second thing, and this one is honestly a little uncomfortable, is lifestyle inflation disguised as progress. Your 20s are the decade where your income for most people grows faster than it ever will again. First real job, then a raise, then maybe a better job, and culturally, we're told to reward that. New apartment, nicer car, better restaurants. You earned it, you're doing well, and you are. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Every permanent upgrade to your lifestyle is a permanent increase in what you need to survive. That nicer apartment doesn't just cost more this month. It resets your baseline. Now that's what normal feels like. Now everything below that feels like going backwards. The people I've seen build real financial momentum in their 20s. They weren't suffering or living in bare rooms eating rice, but they were intentional about the gap between what they earned and what they spent. They protected that gap like it mattered, because it does. That gap is where wealth lives. One practical thing: before any lifestyle upgrade, ask yourself, is this adding genuine happiness, or is this just what the next level is supposed to look like? Sometimes it's real joy. Often it's just the script you think you're supposed to follow. And that brings me to the last thing I want to leave you with, which is maybe the most important. Your 20s are the only time you're rich in the one thing money can't buy back. Time, not in a motivational poster way, in a genuinely mathematical way. Time is the engine behind every financial strategy that actually works. And you have more of it right now than you ever will again. Every year you wait, the math gets a little harder. Not impossible, just harder. I don't say that to scare you. I say it because I think a lot of people in their 20s are waiting to feel ready, waiting until they understand more, earn more, have more stability. And that waiting, that is the cost. The cost isn't a bad investment or one dumb purchase. It's the years spent on the sidelines. You don't need to have it figured out. You just need to start. Something small, something consistent, something that builds the identity of a person who takes their financial life seriously, even before it looks impressive from the outside. Because here's the quiet truth. The version of you at 45 is being built right now, in the small choices, the tiny transfers, the moment you decide to look at the numbers instead of looking away. And that version of you, they'll be really glad you started.